Welcome back to our channel, where today we're going to delve into the fascinating journey of BRICS. BRICS, an acronym for Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, is a group of emerging economies that have made a significant impact on the global stage. So, let's dive right in. BRICS are not a formal trade bloc or a specific region, but were seen as countries capable of balancing the influence of powerful nations in global affairs. Over time, the BRICS became more organized, similar to groups like the G7. BRICS goals have evolved from economic cooperation to tackling broader challenges like climate change, energy security, counter-terrorism, and international financial institution reforms. BRICS have tried to challenge US-centric institutions like the IMF and the World Bank. In 2014, with $50 billion in seed money, the BRICS nations launched the New Development Bank, NDB, as an alternative to the World Bank and the International Monetary Fund, IMF. NDB aims to support infrastructure and sustainable development projects in member countries and other developing regions. BRICS also created a liquidity mechanism called the Contingent Reserve Arrangement to support members struggling with payments. BRICS is growing larger as Bangladesh, Egypt, and the UAE have recently become members of the BRICS New Development Bank. Many other countries are also considering joining the bank in the future. GDP data from the IMF indicate that beginning in 1992, the G7's share of world purchasing power parity (PPP) GDP has continuously declined and the BRICS countries' share is continuously increasing. The G7 includes Canada, France, Germany, Italy, Japan, the United Kingdom, and the United States, as well as the European Union. In 2019, the shares of global GDP were G7 31.5% and BRICS 30.7%. The current BRICS 5 now contribute 31.5% of global GDP, while the G7 share has fallen to 30%. The BRICS is expected to contribute over 50% of global GDP by 2030, with the proposed enlargement almost certainly bringing that forward. To understand purchasing power parities, PPPs, these are rates used to compare the buying power of different countries' money. They show how much you can buy with one currency compared to another. For instance, if rice costs 60 rupees in India and $2.13 in the US, the PPP for rice between the two countries is 28 rupees and 16 paise per dollar. This tells us that you can buy the same amount of rice in India for 28 rupees and 16 paise that you could buy with $1 in the US. BRICS is all set to expand. South African Foreign Minister Naledi Pandor mentioned that there is significant global interest in the BRICS group. She revealed that she had received 12 letters from countries expressing interest in joining, including Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, Egypt, Algeria, Argentina, Mexico, and Nigeria. The recent economic changes in BRICS countries are quite different from what was expected when the group was formed. Only China experienced continuous and significant growth, with its economy expanding from $6 trillion in 2010 to nearly $18 trillion in 2021. However, the economies of Brazil, South Africa, and Russia remain stagnant, while India's GDP increased from $1.7 trillion to $3.1 trillion, but it couldn't match China's growth rate. Since the Russian war in Ukraine began, the BRICS countries have moved further away from the West. India, Brazil, South Africa, and China have not joined in imposing sanctions on Russia. Their trade relationships with Russia, such as India's significant trade and Brazil's reliance on Russian fertilizer, show their distancing from the West. This has created a clear diplomatic divide, with Russia aligning with Eastern powers and the West on the other side. Some European and US policymakers are concerned that the BRICS may shift from being an economic club of rising powers working together for global growth and development to becoming more politically oriented, defined by their authoritarian nationalism. According to Pavel Nyazev, a high-ranking official from the Russian Foreign Ministry, the BRICS countries are working on creating a new reserve currency to benefit their economies. This currency will be a mix of the Chinese RMB yuan, Russian ruble, Indian rupee, Brazilian real, and South African rand. They are currently discussing the possibility of having a shared currency for all the BRICS nations. The BRICS alliance is considering creating a new currency for international trade payments. The 5 nations might decide on this new currency during their upcoming summit in August 2023 in Johannesburg, South Africa. While Brazil, Russia, China, and South Africa are in favor of the idea, India has not shown interest in launching the new currency. India's External Affairs Minister, S. Jaishankar, announced in a press conference on July 3, 2023, that India has no intentions of introducing a new BRICS currency. Instead, India's main focus is on making its national currency, the rupee, stronger, and this is the top priority for the Indian government. India's stance is based on its strong economic performance, as it is doing well in terms of GDP without relying on BRICS support. Furthermore, India values its trade and military ties with the US and Europe, which are worth billions of dollars, and it is cautious about risking these relationships. Reports indicate that China aims to challenge the US dollar's reserve status with BRICS, but India, Brazil, and South Africa are cautious about China's vision for the world order. Certainly, the talk about a new BRICS currency shows that many nations want to reduce their reliance on the dollar. However, we shouldn't only focus on the currency itself. The bigger picture is about creating a new global economic order, which won't happen overnight. The key lies in BRICS countries coordinating their policies and coming up with innovative solutions, like this currency initiative, which can pave the way for significant changes in the future. And there you have it, the remarkable history of BRICS. From its humble beginnings as an economic concept to its transformation into a platform for global cooperation, BRICS has undoubtedly left its mark on the world stage. If you found this video informative, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more engaging content. Until next time, thank you for joining us, and stay tuned for more exciting videos.